Today is March 4th, 2016. My name is Joe Todd. This is an interview with Carl Nelson in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and you live in Huachuca.
No, I live in Osage County.
Osage County. Up by Gila Lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, where were you born?
I was born in Bartlesville,
And when's your birthday?
7th month, 31st day, 1931.
1931. Who is your father?
Alfred P. Nelson.
And your mother?
Daisy Clara Nelson.
What was her maiden name?
Jones.
Jones. Did you go through school in Bartlesville?
Yes.
You graduated what year?
I didn't graduate.
You didn't graduate?
I dropped out in 10th grade.
Okay. Where'd you start your school?
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite teacher?
I don't remember. That's too long ago.
Yeah. What type of work did your father do?
He was a baker by trade.
Baker. Mm-hmm. Where did he work?
Well, he worked at the Golden Rule Bakery in Bartlesville. But he worked at several different bakeries.
Okay.
During the war, he was moving around.
Yeah. Now, where did you live in Bartlesville?
716 Choctaw.
716 Choctaw. What did you do for recreation when you were a boy?
Hunting, fishing, and neighborhood football and all that.
You climbed the mound?
Pardon me?
You climbed the mound?
Yes, yes.
What'd you do up there?
Just looked at the rocks.
Yeah.
We just climbed the big climbing.
You climbed Circle Mountain?
Oh yeah, several times.
Now, what'd you do up there?
Well, we just did the same thing. We just go around looking at everything we could see. Yeah, my grandmother, she lived right there on Sand Creek, by Circle Mountain.
Okay. Did you go to Santa Pool?
Yes.
What was Santa Pool?
It was a big swimming pool for the city owned by Lefty Custer.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked for him when I was going to school in the summertime. I was backwasher. You know what a backwasher is? That's where we get up there in the filter and jump up and down in the sand to filter the water.
Okay. That was a Santa Pool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I do.
Where were you when that happened?
Well, I was going to school in Central High.
After the war started, did you help with the scrap metal drives or rubber drives?
Yes. And we even picked milk pods for Mae West life jackets.
Where'd you take the scrap metal you collected?
Well, it's over there on the railroad on First Street there, across from the old ice plant. You know where the old Crystal ice plant was?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right there on the triangle, it was a scrap yard.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you study the war in school?
Well, we never did study it, I know of, but we kept up on it with the newsreels on movies and the radio.
Yep. Yeah, that was in the movies. They had the color cartoon and News of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to a movie, they'd spent the first 15 minutes on occurrences of what's happening in the war.
What movies you go to? What theaters?
I went to all of them. I go to the Lyric, the Rex, the Osage,
The Arrow.
and the Arrow, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you quit the 10th grade.
Yeah.
Why'd you quit school?
Why did I quit?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was smart enough.
What'd you do after you quit school?
Then I went to work for Davis Furniture in Bartlesville, 2nd Street. Laying linoleum, carpet, and tile for the furniture store.
Who owned Davis Furniture?
Ori Davis.
Ori Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tell me about him.
Well, I don't remember too much about him. Junior Davis is one that I work with all the time. That's his son. And we'd go hunting and fishing together all the time.
Now, where's the furniture store located on 2nd Street?
Well, you know where the feed store was? Not too long ago, just about,
That Hildebrand?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just come up 2nd Street from the depot, and it's on going east. It was right next door to where the printing shop is now, I think.
Okay, yes.
You know where the printing shop is?
Yes, yes.
It's next. This is the first door to the west.
Okay. Now, did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
When were you drafted?
1950.
1950. You recall the month and day?
No, I don't know. It was early '51 when I took basic training,
Okay.
and that was in Camp Chaffee, Arkansas.
Camp Chaffee, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Tell me about basic.
Well, I enjoyed it.
What type of training did you have?
Artillery. I went to artillery. It was 105 howitzers.
Did you request the artillery?
No, they just put you where they wanted you.
Okay. Now, what type of training did you have in basic?
Well, marching, a lot of marching, and a lot of calisthenics, and then a lot of time in the field with the guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Okay. Now, were they howitzers? 105
Yeah,
howitzers?
105 howitzers.
Okay. You have been to forced marches, the 5, 10, 15-mile marches?
Yeah, we had quite a few of them.
What do you carry on those forced marches?
Well, we carry about a 40-pound pack and all our weapons. And one was the M1 rifles at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And full combat gear, helmet and all.
Now, what is full combat gear?
Well, that's with your backpack, helmet, cartridge belts, your weapon, your bedroll, and your, what do you call it, your half tent.
Shelter hat?
Shelter hat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. You pull KP?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did that regular.
Yeah.
You took turns.
Tell me about your drill sergeants.
Well, he was named Carter, and he was from Arkansas. And he was pretty rough on us. He'd make sure we got tough enough to go.
Mm-hmm. How long did basic last?
Well, that's about, I think it's about a little over 2 months.
Okay. Now, did they tell you about Korea while you were in basic?
I'm sure they did, but I don't remember
Okay.
what they said about it.
So after basic, where did you go?
After basic, they put us on. I went home for 15 days, and I went back to Chaffee, and they put us on a troop train and took us all the way to Seattle, Washington. And we shipped out.
How long did that trip take?
Well, I'm probably wrong, but I think it's about 6 days.
Okay. Where'd you sleep on the train?
On the train,
Yeah.
we had compartments.
Okay. Okay. When the train stopped, were you allowed to get off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to Fort Lewis? Or straight to Seattle?
We went straight to Seattle. Yeah.
You call the ship you got on?
I believe it was USS Black, General Black.
USS General Black. Had you been assigned to a unit?
No.
Okay. Did you know where you were going?
Yes, I knew where we was.
Okay. When you were shipping out from Seattle, what were you thinking?
Well, we were just not really thinking about much anything specific.
Mm-hmm.
We were just playing cards and passing the time.
How did you pass the time on the trip?
Well, I got a job in the kitchen, so I spent all my time down there.
Now, what were you told to do in case the ship was sinking?
Well, we had drills, so every day we'd have a drill, and we'd grab our life jackets and get topside.
Now, what kind of ship was the USS Black?
It was a general ship.
I mean, was it a troop ship, a liberty ship?
Troop ship, yeah.
Okay.
Troop ship.
Were there enough lifeboats for everybody?
I would say yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of them there. That's where we was all hanging around up there. When we'd go and have our drill, we'd be up there under them,
Now, where'd you sleep on the ship?
down the hole, all the way down.
How high were the bunks stacked?
4, I think it was 4.
And which bunk did you have?
Usually I'd have the top one up next to the,
Many guys get seasick?
yeah, a whole lot of them.
Did you
I never did.
Okay. And the ship went where?
Well, we went straight to Yokohama, Japan. And then we were held over there because they was having a whole lot of trouble at that time in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have any room left, or if they'd been pushed south and they didn't have any room to give us our assignment yet. And so they was all giving us just training, normal armor training, and they had a couple of us assigned to go to refrigeration school. But we had to wait 3 weeks before it started, and before that 3 weeks was up, they got us an assignment to go to Korea. And so I got a Korean artillery assignment there out of Busan.
What unit were you assigned to?
I think it was 7th Army Artillery.
7th Artillery?
Yeah, 7th.
What division?
I don't remember the division. I didn't stay there very long. I was just there about 3 weeks, I think, in artillery. And they pulled me out and made me the gunner on an armored car in the MPs. We escorted. I had an M8 armored car, and I was a gunner on a 40 millimeter cannon on that armored car.
Were you still in the same unit?
No, I was put in the 728 military police.
728th Military Police.
And we escorted the convoy up to the line, and the ones being pulled off, we escorted them back to the rear.
Now, did they already have the invasion at Incheon when you got there?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was already.
Because they were all moving back north then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you were escorting units up to the front line?
Yeah. Well, we just take them to the Han River, and then somebody else pick
Now,
up.
which river?
The Han River.
Where's that located?
Well, it's in between Seoul and Yeongdeung-po.
Okay. Is that close to 30th parallel?
What I say is better than 100 miles away.
Okay. Were you north or south of 30th parallel?
We're south.
South.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're in Korea, you have any contact with the local people?
Yes. And I was stationed there on the escort duty, but when they made it pull to the north, they didn't have any use for us back there no more because they moved all to the north. So we got the whole company that I was in. We moved to Yeongdeung-po. That's just south of Seoul.
How do you spell that?
Well, UNGDONGPO.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You said that's just south of Seoul?
Yeah.
Was that your base camp?
Yeah, we was in the A company of the 728th Military Police,
Okay.
and we got new duties. They decided I was an MP then. I was no longer an artilleryman. And so we took over the refugee control on the Han River. And
You did what patrol?
the refugee,
Oh yeah, refugee. Okay.
and we had to keep all the civilians south of the river, keep them out of the way of the
Okay.
troops.
Mhm.
And so we had river patrol, and we had three bridges for to control traffic and civilians.
Now, were you still a gunner on an M8?
No, they just made me a regular MP.
Okay, in a Jeep?
Yeah, well, we had a Jeep to mostly just going back and forth to our assignment. We had to go, we had a, down south, as I guess it's southeast of Seoul, about 5 miles. Had a big pontoon bridge where we had to go down and man that bridge for security on the bridge. Then we had the main bridge at Seoul Bridge at the Han River. Then we had what they call a shoe fly bridge that went over to the K-16 Air Base from Seoul. And so we was refugee control on those bridges. Plus we had 2 boats in the river to the week.
Now, how do you control refugees? What'd you do?
Well, we found anybody trying to cross the line that didn't have the proper paperwork, we'd take them, turn them over to the Korean police.
Okay.
We'd apprehend them and take them over.
Now, were these North Koreans or South Koreans? Or did you know?
We didn't know. We treat them like South Koreans, but
Okay.
which most of them were, because they were trying to get back home.
Yeah. Okay.
They were refugees, and they were trying to get back up to Seoul, where they lived, in north of Seoul.
Now, when you said they didn't have the right papers, what would be the right papers?
Well, they issue all the South Koreans that they could get a hold of. They issue them little identification cards, and they had to have an identification card. They didn't have a card, we'd take them to the police.
Okay. What's your most vivid memory of Korea?
Well, what bothered me the most was the snow and the cold.
How'd you stay warm over there?
Just putting on all the clothes you can get on.
How cold did it get?
Well, it was 0 and below quite a bit of the winter.
How long were you in Korea?
I was over there I think it was 19 months.
19 months.
I was still a draftee at that time. I hadn't got the extension yet, you know. So we would go back to be discharged from being drafted. And so they brought the extension. We got extension from 19 months to 23 months in tour duty for draftees. And I come back and went to Fort Sill for discharge.
And when were you discharged?
Well, at Fort Sill, I re-up.
Oh, you re-upped, okay. Okay. For how many years?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
So after Fort Sill, what'd you do?
I got assignment Pine Bluff Arsenal, Arkansas.
Which arsenal?
Pine Bluff.
Pine Bluff Arsenal. What'd you do there?
Security for the arsenal.
Now, were you still an MP?
Yeah.
Now, did you have any formal MP training?
Not at that time.
Okay.
Later on, I got formal.
Now, what type of what'd you do at the arsenal?
At the arsenal, we manned the gates, patrolled the area, and we had every once in a while we'd get AWOL apprehension. We'd have to go and pick up AWOLs and take them to Hot Springs Stockade. And let's see. And we had well, security of the arsenal, and we had to go and work with the Pine Bluff police once in a while to go down. We'd have to check buses going through and check the soldiers and armed military people that's going through for proper orders to pick up AWOLs.
How long you at Pine Bluff?
Yeah, there. About 18 months, I think, about.
Then where'd you go?
To Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, I went to Germany at Bremerhaven, Germany.
Bremerhaven. That's on the North Sea, isn't it?
Well, it's on the river just out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do there?
Town patrol for Bremerhaven, and we'd have to go and meet all the troop ships coming in and assist in traffic and stuff there for that. And
Were you still considered occupation forces at this time?
yes.
What was the attitude of the German civilians to you?
Well, I had very good relationships with them, and also with the German police.
Okay.
See, that was 1954 when we got there,
Okay.
and they got their sovereignty in '55. And so, but all we did was town patrol and police work. That's all.
Okay. Now, what unit were you based with in Germany?
Well, I was with the, I have to think about that, it's BPOE, Bremerhaven Port of Embarkation. And we were just a bastard MP company.
Okay.
That was our assignment, BPOE.
And you were there how long?
Almost 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
What do you remember most about Germany?
You know, lots of work, lots of beer.
You go to Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
That in Munich?
Well, I've been there, but at that time, no, I hadn't
Yeah.
been. And there I got assigned to, before I left there, before I was only there a couple of years, and I got assigned as a confinement NCO. I had a 11-man stockade there with it. And then I escort prisoners from Bremerhaven down to Mannheim prison.
Okay. And what had these guys done?
Well, mostly assaults and AWOL. Just normal soldiers that couldn't get along.
Was there any change in the German civilians before and after they got their sovereignty?
Not that I recognize,
Okay.
because our job was just police work, and we
Okay.
was already cooperating and working with the German police, and so nothing hardly changed. We still worked with the police, except we was a little more in charge when we started, and they took over.
Yeah. Okay.
So we just took a little bit of different regulations.
So from Bremerhaven, where'd you go?
I went back to the States, and I went to Fort Huachuca, Arizona,
What'd you do there?
MP. And I got assigned, well, we did a whole lot of things there. We go down and work with, had three borders. And we go down and work with the immigrations and customs on the border. We go on any military that got in trouble over there, we'd go try to get them out of trouble and bring them back and turn them over to their commanding officers. So we was at Altapreta, Naco, and Nogales, where we worked the gates to Mexico.
And what were the other two? Nogales and...
Altapreta, I don't know how to spell it. Altapreta.
Yeah.
And then it was Naco, N-O-C-O.
Okay. How long were you there?
3.5 years.
Have any trouble in Mexico trying to get these soldiers out?
No, I hadn't. They'd notify us, and we'd just go walk across from our station over to the police, the Mexican police, and they'd tell us what they had there. And so we'd come back and get our vehicle. We had a paddy wagon, and we'd come back and get our vehicle, and then escort us out to where they had locked up, and then we'd make a deal with them to take them.
You get everybody out?
Well, everybody except one, he escaped, and we never did find him. We went down there to get him, and he done dig a hole in the side of the jail cell where he was at, and dug a hole and got out. So I mean, he probably found his way back to the States some way or another.
So from Fort Huachuca,
Yeah.
where'd you go?
Huachuca, let me think. Back to Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, I went back to Germany from Huachuca.
Where in Germany?
I went to Schaffenberg.
Schaffenberg.
Yeah.
What part of Germany is that located?
We are the central part, just south of Frankfurt.
Okay. You ever go up to the border between East Germany and West Germany?
Yeah, I mean, by the way, when I was in Fort Huachuca, I transferred from the military police to the engineers.
Okay.
I was a post engineer, see. And then I got shipped out so I went to Germany to Schaffenberg. I went there as the engineers,
Okay.
post engineers. And yeah, I went several times to Berlin from Frankfurt. We had a factory there in Berlin where they made a lot of different vehicles for us to work in, engineers, like pump trucks, to sanitation pumps, to pump out flooded basements and stuff. Because we had several dependent areas there at Schaffenberg where Army civilians lived in. And so we did all the maintenance on their housing areas, and like I said, we went to Berlin a couple of times. I got to go on the train, go up there, up to the Halmstad Autobahn, which you got to go all the way through East Germany to get to Berlin. And so then we go up there and we pick up the vehicles that we had to pick up, and then we had to drive them back through the Halmstad Autobahn, and being spied on by the East Germans and the Russians all the way down. We couldn't make any stops. If you wanted to use the bathroom, you just had to get out on the fender. You had to keep moving. If you stopped, well, they'd come and pull you over and hold you up for 3 or 4 hours. So we just keep going fast as we can go.
Now, will you have to go through an inspection when you first entered East Germany? Going to?
No.
They didn't stop you then when you
No, because we went on a military train,
Okay.
and we weren't even allowed to look out the windows. All the blinds would be stayed pulled, and we went into Berlin on our side, and they didn't check us because we weren't allowed to make any stops or nothing. They just went straight through and off.
Now, did they check you when you left Berlin heading back?
Yeah.
Check your vehicles?
Mm. Yeah, they check in it, under it, over it, everywhere, everything.
And what unit were you assigned to with the engineers?
Well, I was in the post engineers out of Schaffenberg.
Okay.
So it wasn't a company as a regular post engineer. I don't know.
Okay. Were you considered cadre then at Schaffenberg?
No, I was just a policeman.
Okay.
Retired policeman.
So how long were you at Schaffenberg?
Let's see, I got there. Schaffenberg was 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
Then where'd you go?
Then I went to Virginia at Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
What'd you do there?
Post engineers.
Okay.
And then I got assigned to an engineer battalion, an Army battalion.
Which battalion, do you recall?
Yeah, what it was a battalion, it was Port Engineer Construction. It's 497th Port Construction.
197th Port Construction.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do in a port construction battalion?
Well, we build piers and wharfs, and anything to do with the sea.
Mm-hmm.
We worked in.
Now, did you go through training to do this at Fort Belvoir?
Nope. They just said they put us there. We go to training every Tuesday and work all the rest of the time.
Okay.
And I made sergeant then. I was sergeant first class. Not, so I was staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant.
I was staff sergeant then.
And when were you at Fort Belvoir? Do you remember?
Yes. Well, what year was Kennedy assassinated?
63.
Okay, that's when I was there.
Okay.
I was there, and then we loaded up to go to Cuba before that.
The Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah, we loaded all the trains and all our equipment and took off for Florida because we fixed them. We were fixing to go to Cuba, and then they got the thing settled with.
Yeah.
So we come on back and unloaded. And let's see. I remember all this stuff. And then I went to Vietnam on that one.
Yeah. What did you think when Kennedy was assassinated?
Well, it was hard for us to even understand. They got us all out there, and we stood an hour of attention at the parade grounds and gave them a 20 going gun salute. And people falling out and standing attention too long. And, well, there wasn't much of us to think about.
Yeah. Were you allowed to go to his funeral in Washington?
No.
Okay.
We would have been allowed to, I guess, but I didn't go.
Yeah, okay. So when did you go to Vietnam?
1965.
What did you do in Vietnam?
Construction. Engineers.
What unit were you assigned to there?
I was assigned to hold on, I can't think. It's an engineer battalion in the Cameron Bay.
Cameron Bay. What were your duties there at Cameron Bay?
I was a construction foreman, and we started the air base there. We started pouring concrete for the airfield, and then we turned it over to civilians, the contractor, and then we went up and started pouring concrete pads to set up squad tents for people coming in there to be assigned.
They were at Cameron Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we built about 30 miles of asphalt road and bridges and what have you there from the South Beach, where South Beach is where all the military was, and the ways inland was where the air base was. And so we built asphalt road to come from the ships to the air base.
Did you have civilian workers?
Yes.
What was their attitude?
Well, I never had any problem with them. But, we had a lot of civilians working with them. In fact, I had let's see. No, I don't think they ever had anything serious
Now, was Vietnam going strong at this time when you were there in
Yes,
'65?
Yeah, this is 1965. There was still a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. You ever come under fire there at Camp Chaffee?
Oh, about twice a week we'd have mortar fire. We'd have no, we on the, see that Cameron Bay is financially sticks out into South China Sea, and we was pretty well protected there. But up in the inland part was mountainous, and they'd come in up there and set up a mortar once in a while and give us a little trouble. And we built a couple of piers out to sea and put D-long metal pier on the end of it to unload their cargo ships and everything, supplies come in.
Now, did you stay at Camp Chaffee the whole time you were there? Did you?
That trip, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first trip there.
Okay. You were there how long that time?
14 months.
14 months. What do you remember most about that time, those 14 months?
Well, we just doing a lot of construction work and pouring concrete, and we helped set up a rock crusher, blasting. We knocked down one of the mountains and made rock out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and set up a batch plant for make concrete out of mixing trucks. And this time we just do whatever come up.
Okay.
Construction.
What type of quarters did you have there?
We live in a squad tent.
Squad tents?
Yeah.
Okay. How many men to a tent?
Eight, 9 people.
Okay. You still a staff sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay. So from Vietnam, where'd you go?
I went everything, man. Where did I go when I left there first time I went? Hard to remember where am I at? Oh, I went back to Germany.
Germany?
Yeah, I got an inter-theater transfer.
How long were you in Germany this time?
18 months, I think it was.
And where were you?
I was in, did I put Schaffenburg on there?
Yeah, you were Schaffenburg. Yes.
Okay.
And Fort Huachuca to Schaffenburg.
Well,
Fort Belvoir in Vietnam. Did you go back to Schaffenburg?
no, Schaffenburg's in the wrong place there.
Okay.
I went to Schaffenburg this time.
Okay, you went to Schaffenburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's the same thing on Schaffenburg.
Okay.
Post engineers.
Okay.
I'm getting kind of confused here. I'm going to have to get my assignment straightened
Oh,
out.
that's fine.
Okay.
And you're in Germany how long this time?
About a year and a half.
Okay. Then where'd you go?
Belvoir, but
You went back to Belvoir?
no, I got Belvoir wrong. I got Schaffenburg and Belvoir in the wrong place, I think.
Okay.
But let's see.
So from Fort Huachuca you went to
I got Schaumburg there, don't I?
Yeah, you went from Fort Huachuca to Schaumburg.
Okay. And before I was in Huachuca, I was in Bremerhaven.
Bremerhaven, yeah. Bremerhaven, Fort Huachuca, and Schaumburg.
Yeah.
Then Fort Belvoir in Vietnam.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now then. Now I gotta figure out where I was at after I got back to Vietnam the first time. Let's see, that was in 65 is when I went to Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now where are we at? I come.
You said from Vietnam you went back to Germany.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I went. No, I'll leave it. Okay, let me figure it out. Totally confused there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, I think I'm in pretty good shape till I get to Vietnam.
Vietnam, 1965.
Yeah. Then when I left there, what was I did a year and a half there. So, no. How long you got me there? Vietnam, 65 to
Yeah.
66, and then 60, let's see. Okay. I went back to Germany in 67.
67.
Is that what you got there?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was assigned to post, not post, I was assigned to an engineer battalion then.
Where in Germany?
I was at New Ulm.
New Ulm.
Neu Ulm.
What'd you do there?
Well, we were in combat engineers there. And I got there, and I was just there a couple weeks. And a friend of mine was already out of there and was assigned TDY in Tripoli, Libya. And so he found out I was up there and he needed some help. So he requested me and I went TDY to Tripoli, Libya.
What'd you do there?
We were setting up 200 trailer houses for Air Force dependents. And that included everything. We were out there in the desert. We'd put in electricity, the water, and the sewer, and set the trailer houses up, and put outfall lines out to sea, and all that. We set up, it was just a town. In that area, and that was on Wheelus Air Base.
Wheelus?
Wheelus. That's in Tripoli.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now I'm straightened out now.
Okay.
But I gotta figure
Have any
out-
contact with the local people in Tripoli?
No,
Okay.
no. Well, one time that's when I was there in '67. That's when they had the 6-Day War.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's before Gaddafi. They had King Idris was in charge of Libya. That was Gaddafi's uncle. He was on our side. when they had the 6-Day War, where all the civilians in Tripoli was going to march out and take over the air base, and so we had to defend the air base. And so we took over all the outposts around the whole base. And because I had military police training, they put me in a big hangar, and I was in charge of teaching them how to riot control. And so we spent all our time in that hangar marching and riot with weapons and everything, riot control. And then after that was over with, then we finished our job, and then I got help behind and was in charge of getting all our equipment back to Germany. And so I took everything we had down there back to Frankfurt, and I went back to New Ulm. Now then, I'm going to stop right there. Okay. Then we had another little job there. See, I got my second trip to Vietnam done already.
Not yet.
Okay, that's where I went.
Okay, back to Vietnam.
Back to Vietnam.
When did you go to Vietnam the second time?
It was in 68.
68.
Yeah.
Were you there for Tet 68? That was January, February 68.
Yeah, I was there.
What'd you do during Tet?
Well, we were building bridges at Fan Rang. And I'm trying to think of the engineer battalion I was in then. They sent us down to Song Mao, Vietnam. We had to set up a quarry and build roads down there. And then they pulled me out of there, and I was E7 then, Sergeant First Class. They put me up back in a battalion at Fan Rang as an operations sergeant. And I got held over there a couple of months because they didn't have a replacement. And I volunteered to stay over. And then I got reassigned there to Montana. I was a reserve advisor.
Montana.
In Montana, I was in Army Reserves.
Okay, so you left Vietnam for Montana?
Yeah.
How long were you in Vietnam that time?
And let's see, I was there in 68, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. 69. Okay. So it was just about, count my extension, I extended there from when I made it when they took me up to operations. So 14 months.
14
months.
How had Vietnam changed from your first tour to your second tour?
Well, we had less enemy activity. That's the only thing I can remember. We had a lot of trouble. We were building bridges. We had a lot of, they come in and booby trap our work while we was back in behind the wire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the only trouble we had on my second trip.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple of, we were building the Screaming Eagles. What are they? The airborne one. The 101st Air Force. We had to go and build them a bunch of pads and everything to set their tents on and help them get their wire out and everything for their protection. And
Was this a Fan Ring?
no, it's in Song Mao.
Song Mao.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another. I hadn't made it back to Fan Rang yet. And let's see. Yeah, the only trouble we had there at that time was they'd send a patrol out from. They had a special ops outfit there in Songmouth. They had their patrols and everything, and we had our outfit right in the middle, covered with wire, and they had a few skirmishes at night. You know, we get this small arm fire and stuff through our wire, and the 101st they get mortars, and they'd get a lot of small arms next to the town. Not much of nothing changed. Just made it a little more scary.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at now?
You said from Vietnam you went to Montana.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Went to Montana. I was reserve advisor, so I was
Where in Montana?
at Kalispell.
Where?
Kalispell.
Kalispell.
U.S. Army Reserve, reserve advisor. And that's where I retired.
Okay. You retired when?
Retired in March 1971.
What's your most vivid memory of your Army career? What do you remember most about your career in the Army?
Well, I enjoyed the Army all the way through. So well, I enjoyed mostly when I was in construction. Everything that we were building, everything. I enjoyed construction work. My MOS was construction foreman. 51H40. So, yeah, we did a whole bunch of building stuff, and that's what I liked about the Army career. I think it was.
Why were we in Vietnam?
Pardon me?
Why were we in Vietnam?
Well, I think we were just fighting the communists. I never did get it really straightened out why we was there. But I didn't ask no questions either.
So what did you think whenever South Vietnam fell?
Well, I was out of the Army then, and I didn't like to hear it. All that business went on at the moving everybody out and turning everything over to the South Vietnamese, and then they give it all to the North Vietnamese, and I was disturbed about all that. All the work we done, and then they just said the hell with it.
What did you do after you retired?
I got a job working on a pipeline in Saudi Arabia. So
What did you do over there?
Concrete.
Concrete.
Yeah, I was working for Price, H.C. Price.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was putting in a 500 miles of 42-inch pipe. And I had all the concrete work about every 30 or 40 miles. We'd have a valve. And we'd have to build a big concrete box to go over the valves. And then we had, going into the stations, we had to build anchors for the pipe. When it surges, to keep it from tearing the plant up. And that's what it is. And I was the only American on it. I had 250 rags.
What was their attitude?
Well, I got along real good with them. I had no problem because I tried to understand them and tried to explain everything to them, and we got a lot of good work done. I spent all my time going from one site to another and one site to another, and come back and do it all over again the other way, and that took care of 12-hour days.
So when did you come back here?
Well, I was jumping back and forth all the time. I stayed in that until the first one. I just spent about a year there, and I come back to the States, and I worked for Sodders, Hank Sodders construction company for a while here while I was waiting, and then I got another assignment. The second assignment, I went to Iraq, and I was working the same thing there. I was anchoring pipe. We made one canal crossing. And
when you in Iraq?
It's before any trouble. I don't know. I'd have to figure that out.
Yeah. Was Saddam in power at that time?
Yes. We weren't having any problem with him.
Yeah.
And you just had to be careful. Don't say anything wrong about him. They did appreciate that. And then after I got through it there, I come back, and I went to Iran. Next job, I was back here. I worked a couple of months at home, and then I went back to Iran.
What'd you do there?
Same thing. On the pipeline, we were doing anchors and valve boxes.
Was the Shah still in power at that time?
No.
Is that to the revolution?
Yeah, yes, he was too.
Yeah.
He was still there at that time, but he didn't. Because I was back in the States when he got out, when he lost his run, when they run him out. And then after that, I went to South America on a pipeline job in South America, out of Houston.
We're in South America.
I was in Los Organos. That's about 200 miles north of Lima.
Okay. That was in Peru?
Yeah.
Yeah. What pipeline were you building down there?
Well, we were building gathering systems from the wells.
Okay.
We'd bring all different size pipeline into.
Are these water wells?
No, it's oil.
Oil well. Oh, there's oil down there in Peru?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's having a lot of trouble there with, it was very heavy crude. And so they was on about maybe 20 miles up on top of the plateau there, at Los Organos. They had light crude. And so we were building pipelines from the light crude wells to the heavy crude wells, and then pumping the heavy crude mixed with the light crude out to mix it up so they can get it out of the ground.
Yeah.
And that's what we was doing.
So when did you finally retire?
Well, my wife got sick, and I was working for I was working at Dewey there. We was building that pipe at yard there in an industrial system, in an industrial area in Dewey. And so my wife and I, we were in foster care. We started taking care of foster kids. Here's one of them right there.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
And so then she got sick with cancer and passed away. And so now I ain't had a job since then.
Okay. Would you join the Army again?
No,
No.
I couldn't make it again.
Okay. Today, when you hear basic training, what's your reaction?
It ain't basic training, it's college.
When you hear USS General Black, What do you think of?
General Black. That's my ship. Yeah.
Korea.
Misery. Not much of nothing that I liked about Korea.
Germany.
Yeah, I enjoy Germany.
Vietnam.
Vietnam, I like the work there. Yeah, I liked all the work we got to do and completed and built a whole Cameron Bay and airfield and everything.
Harry Truman.
Good man. We need another one.
Dwight Eisenhower.
I liked him too.
Lyndon Johnson.
Well, he had a whole lot thrown on him. He couldn't handle it, so, but he did a good job.
Richard Nixon.
Didn't care for him to start with. That time Nixon was there, I was a full-fledged Democrat.
How do you want to be remembered?
A good guy.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's good enough.
Do you have any questions?
Anything I said didn't like? No, me and him, we adopted him. He was 8 months old,
Yeah.
and he's been with me ever since.
Well, sir, this is an excellent interview.
Well, thank you.
I want to thank you for your service and thank you for the interview.
Well, thank you.
And again, this is March 4th, 2016. My name is Joe Todd. This has been an interview with Carl Nelson. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah.